Hey guys, it's Stephen here. I just had to jump on and make a very quick video because Ferran Soriano and Manchester City have just released an official kind of video documenting their side of the story for all the Uefa financial fair play nonsense. And City have come out swinging. They've come out hard. This is a kind of unprecedented move, really. I was not expecting this level of importance from an interview at this stage of the season from someone this senior. It's obviously that they really are taking all this very seriously. Now, we know they are, but this is obviously a massive PR move. So what we're going to do today is talk about some of the key talking points. He started quite fluffily. In general, he talked about how he knows how important this is to all the club and all the fans and everyone who supports Manchester City across the world. So basically doing some nice kind of lip service, which is kind of important. You've got to do that kind of thing. But after that, he basically said the allegations are not true. He said the owner has put money in this club that has been properly declared by all kind of things. He said we are sustainable, we are profitable, our accounts have been scrutinised many times by auditors and by investors. Obviously the investor bit there is a reference to Silver Lake, who put like $500 million into the City Football Group. And as many people have said before, Silver Lake would not have invested that insane amount of money if they didn't know or didn't trust at least that City would be still competing in the Champions League and that the finances were accurate. Ferran then did say that City did cooperate. A lot of the rumours have been that City haven't been very cooperative during this time, but he flat out denied that. He said it was very hard though constantly to cooperate because of all the leaked info from them during the media. He said that they felt guilty before this was even being discussed, which once again tallies with City's feeling that they've been a bit hard done by. Chris Bailey, who was into Ferran Soriano, said, "Why did you say that this was a prejudice process statement?" And he said, well, this is just how it felt to us. He said it's normal that if you feel like information is being linked and all this kind of stuff, that you'll feel it's prejudice. He said that the process in general relied on out of context stolen emails, which obviously the club aren't very happy about. And he said that this is less about justice and more about politics, which is a big claim. Obviously, the people at the top of Manchester City in general don't feel that they've been treated fairly here, and they feel this is basically political kind of manoeuvrings to satisfy some other clubs. He stopped short of saying that, but that was basically what he implied. He said during the process that they went to the CAS, which is the Court of Arbitration of Sport, they went during the middle of the process because they felt it wasn't fair and that they were concerned about the leaks to the media and all the information being shared during what was meant to be obviously a private process. He said that CAS said there was merit to this, but of course they could only really go through this when the process had been finished and UEFA had made their verdict. They said, according to Soriano, once again, that the leaks were worrisome. Chris Bailey then asked Soriano, when will this be sorted by? And he said they want an early resolution before the beginning of summer. So I guess that means at the end of the season. Before summer means before the break when the players go away. So I'm expecting that we'll see a lot of talk over the next 2 or 3 months about this because they want a very quick resolution, which is necessary anyway. Obviously, we can't go into next season knowing what competitions we're going to be playing in, not knowing, and other clubs can't go in not knowing if fifth is all of a sudden a position that they can qualify for the Champions League. So this is really important, not only to Manchester City, but to the Champions League, but to the Premier League, and but to all the clubs involved in this. So I'm expecting this will be done very quickly. He said in general the whole process felt negative, but he said it was not because of everyone at UEFA. He did stress that. He said UEFA is a big organisation, much bigger than the financial fair play chamber, and obviously he's trying not to burn bridges at that point. He said he works well with lots of people at UEFA, so it was a little bit kind of like arse kissing there necessary because he knows he doesn't want to burn bridges with everyone at UEFA, and said it's basically this chamber, not this big part of it that we've got a problem with. He said also, which is very interesting, that they want to end this undertone that anything Manchester City do, any result, anything they get is based on money and not talent or effort. I think it's pretty obvious that from a PR perspective, the club and the owners and the important people aren't really happy with how Manchester City are perceived. And I think they're really aware of what this could mean for the long-standing reputation of Manchester City. We've been dragged through the mud absolutely billions of times. Now, naturally, none of us really fully know whether this is fair or not. We don't really. Let's be honest. We haven't seen all the documents or the finances ourselves, so we can't say. We can take an educated guess, of course, and of course, I trust my club to be telling the truth, but we don't fully know if we deserve this. But either way, whether we deserve it or not, our name has been beaten up so much that this tag is going to be hard to shake off. And it isn't good for our owners. They don't want City to be associated with corruption or cheating and all that kind of stuff. So City obviously are tired of it. They're very tired of this. He went on to talk about Pep as well, said he's focused on the football, it's a business and legal matter, not a football matter, and basically kind of cleared that up. And he said to the fans that they can be sure of two things: that one, the allegation is false, and secondly, that they'll do everything they can to prove it. We know that the fans are supporters and we can feel it. So what does all this mean, basically? It's a huge PR move. I think City's plan was to be quiet, but I think all the press that the club have got, all the batterings they've got recently in the media, I think basically City have had to take the gloves off and come out swinging. I'm expecting City to be very aggressive from now on as a PR campaign. Having said that though, he still admittedly didn't really say that much. He said a lot of things that we already kind of feel that we know, but having seen it come from Ferran Soriano, having an actual face to these words adds a little bit of more kind of fire to it. It's not all of a sudden kind of a nameless statement from mancity.com. You've got an actual high up executive here coming out and publicly taking on Uefa and these allegations. This is a big ballsy move. I think a lot of people have said for a long time that City couldn't really live constantly by ignoring all this negative PR. City really have been beaten up in the press for all this, and it's been really hard. As a fan myself, as a fan who talks about Manchester City, so I guess I get a lot of tweets about it in general. It's kind of weird watching fans be labelled as immoral, subhuman scum from some journalists because we dare to support Manchester City. It's tiring, it's childish, it's churlish as well. And I think the club needed to do this. I'm hoping they're doing this not just to clear their own name, but also to help the fans. This burden of responsibility shouldn't be on Manchester City fans to constantly try and fight fires and defend the club out in the open. And I'm hoping that they understand that. Us fans are just football fans. We are not accountants. We are not lawyers. We are not human rights experts. We are not accountants. Well, some of you may be, but the vast majority of us aren't. And it's not fair for us to constantly have to defend ourselves against the overwhelming, huge tidal wave of negativity that sweeps around the club. As I've said a million times, I don't know. I don't know the truth. None of us really do know the truth unless we work for City's auditing team or something like that. But I like to believe what the club said. But all I know is that we shouldn't have to bear the brunt of this negativity. It's just not fair. A lot of people have said in general as well that they want the club to come out fighting and actually have some balls with how they deal with this. I don't know if it's fair or not, but I have always felt that the City's PR team has been a bit quiet in general. We need this anger. We need to feel that the club are going to defend the team and also going to defend the fans and also going to defend their reputation. And I think City are going to have to be a little bit more fiery now because they can't really sit here and just take it all. We can't. It could at some point start to affect the perception of the club from some players. It might affect us with some potential signings. It might start to affect us on the pitch. It'll definitely start to affect the mentality of the fans. And it also might start to affect the potential investment in the club. Honestly, even on a monetary scale, which is what really Soriano cares about, if we're being totally honest, City might lose out on some potential investment because there's so much mud being slung around that investors might see Manchester City and go, actually, if we invest, are they not going to be in the Champions League because they're a dodgy club? And investors might even just believe this to be true, even if it isn't true. I don't know if it is true, but they might believe it. And that is not good when you're trying to run a business that's trying to grow to a huge level. Manchester City now have to really start to try and clear the name. And it can't be just the odd kind of passive-aggressive statement as a release. They have to really go at it in the press. They have to really try and put their side of the argument about. And I actually want more from Soriano. I want more. I want City... No, I guess they can't really put everything out there, but I want City to really go and take the fight to the people who criticise him if they don't think it's right. If they don't think it's fair, I want City to actually grow a pair and go for it. Because as I said, I'm tired of the fans having to be ones to do that, and the fans have to bear it up. This is a big change of direction for Manchester City. It could be really huge because it could be the start of City really beginning to fight back. Some of these claims, they're huge. It's obviously notable as well, by the way, that there has to be something in this because otherwise, if City are just saying all this, they better be telling the truth. Otherwise, it's kind of crazy to take this stand. It'd be a very strange kind of poker bluff to do this otherwise. It's a very strong position to take, basically. And there must be confidence with their evidence. They must be in the belief that what they've got is enough a cast to overturn this call and basically clear them everything. We have to be cleared. The club has to be cleared. It's simple as that, really. Being out of Champions League would damage them financially to a point where it really affects our recruitment policy. It really affects our chances to win trophies and rebuild this squad if it needs to happen. This is an absolutely huge statement from Manchester City for what it means in terms of the PR approach from now on, for what it means in terms of how the club are going to approach this battle, because it is a battle. Let's be honest. And there's two sides to this, UEFA side and Manchester City side, and City really have to get on the good side of CAS. Guys, I was not expecting this today. This came out the blue at 1 p.m. on a Wednesday before the game today. Heaven forbid we talk about actual football. No, we've got to go back to this, but I had to cover it. Guys, I'm also going to be doing absolutely loads more videos. If you saw or you follow me on Twitter, I'm going freelance, which means more videos, which means more reactions like this, which means more focus on this channel. So if you like this stuff, please subscribe. If you want to support this channel, I'm going to be announcing loads of stuff in general in terms of like Patreon and all that kind of thing. Anything you can do to help make this channel grow would be appreciated, because this is going to be my life now. You guys and us together. Videos constantly. Scary. But anyway, let me know what you're making of all that. It's crazy. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you later.